I'm Alicia, 28 years old, and not exactly living the dream of a happily married wife, but living the dream of a soon-to-be divorced woman. You see, my story takes a detour from the usual plot lines. The villain here is not the infamous mother-in-law. She's actually the sweet lady who turned out to be my guardian angel. The real antagonist, if you will, was Emmett, my husband. Emmett and I met at a music festival of all places. I was hanging out with some friends, soaking in the tunes, when Emmett approached me. Smooth as ever, he asked for my number, and well, the rest is history. Now, here's the thing. We had only been dating for 6 months before deciding to take the plunge into married life. Yep, you heard that right. 6 months. Looking back, I think I should have asked more questions and been more cautious. But you know, they're not lying when they say love makes you go a little loco. At the time, it felt too good to be true, and I was right about it. It was not true. Within 2 months of us dating, Emmett popped the question. Not the marriage one, though. He asked me to move in with him. He suggested I should give up my apartment and live with him instead because he couldn't spend a minute without me. I remember thinking, whoa, slow down there, Speedy Gonzales. Even though he was love-bombing me, which is usually not a good sign, I found myself saying yes. Now, about Emmett's mom, Agnes, rest in peace. Lady was an absolute gem. When he took me to meet her, I instantly clicked with her. That was a relief. Meeting the mom is always a big deal, right? But her kind nature made everything really easy for me. Finally, a sweet girl like you in our home. Before you, there were many brief encounters. Emmett would bring girls home, and by the next morning, they would vanish. But talking to you warms my heart. Such a beautiful girl, and your heart seems genuine. I'm so glad Emmett has you. Oh, Mrs. Smith, you are too kind. Oh, please, call me Agnes, dear. Mom, do we really need to delve into my past? Alicia doesn't need to know all the details, you know. I'm just saying, there was this one time Emmett brought a girl home, and the next morning I made my special pancakes for her. And when I asked Emmett where she was, Emmett was like, Mom, I wanted the whole bed to myself, so I got her a taxi and sent her home in the middle of the night. What a jokester my son is. I needed to give you lessons on how to treat women. Seriously, Mom, not now. I also tried to make sure how he should deal with not just women, but people in general. This world needs more selfless souls. I hope he listened and treated you nicely. Of course he does. He's the sweetest. At least he did one thing right. Since his father left, I have been very careful. I wanted to provide him with everything. I worked so hard and was so invested in making it all happen for Emmett that I did not have enough time for myself, but it was all worth it. Agnes, you have got me all teary-eyed. You are a strong woman. Mom, can we skip the family history lesson? I'm sure Alicia doesn't want to hear any of this. Come on, Emmett, let the woman speak. It is never too late to enjoy life, Agnes. We can do things together and make new memories. It is different with you, Alicia. I can feel it. You are not just another fling. I have a strong feeling this can turn into something more permanent. Yeah, Alicia, she's an amazing woman. I don't know about you, baby, but it was love at first sight for me. Agnes seemed like the sweetest person ever. She got me the lowdown on Emmett's history, which he had never mentioned in front of me before. It sounded a bit sketchy, but hey, who does not have some baggage? Emmett had his fair share of red flags with other women, but somehow I thought our love story would be different. Love can be pretty blinding, you know. Emmett had this way of making you feel like you were the one who could change him. Despite the warnings and his track record, I fell into the trap. Everything seemed so perfect that I just ignored the signs. Fast forward 6 months into our official relationship, Emmett proposed. It was nothing grand, but it seemed thoughtful. He took me on a picnic in a cozy stranded location, and it was just the two of us. It was not even your regular proposal with the ring. Before you, Alicia, I've been with different women, and I know it may sound cliche, but this time it feels different. I can sense a real connection between us. Different, huh? What makes this time so special? It's hard to explain, but I feel like I have finally found someone who understands me, someone I can build a future with. I have changed, Alicia, and you have played a significant role in that. My mom loves you, and we are secure and stable. What are we waiting for? I would love to call you my wife. Emmett, are you asking me to? Yes, Alicia, I'm asking you to marry me. I do not have a ring right now, but there will be one soon if you say yes. What if we were moving too fast? Alicia, I understand your concerns, but sometimes when you know, you know. We have a good thing going, and I want to make it official. Trust me, this is real. Baby, just promise me I will not regret this later. I promise you, this is going to work out. So, just like that, I found myself on the fast track to marriage with Emmett. I had a lot to sort out, especially with my parents. They knew about Emmett, but the whole marriage thing, that needed some catching up. I introduced Emmett to my parents right after he got me the ring. We did the whole engagement ceremony, and they were nothing but supportive. I reassured them about Emmett's love and how genuine everything felt. The ceremony was low-key, more like a casual get-together with my parents, Emmett's mom, and a handful of close friends. We kept it small and intimate, just the way we liked it. After the engagement, Emmett and I decided we wanted to get married. We set a date 5 months later. That might sound like a lot of time, but there was so much to prepare. My parents and close friends lived in another city, so it was a bit challenging. I had a couple of friends around, but I could not burden them with everything. That is when I got a call from Agnes. Hey honey, how are you doing? I'm good. How are you, Agnes? I'm really good. I just wanted to thank you and your parents for the present you got me at your engagement party. It was not really needed, but it was thoughtful of you. I told them about how nice you've always been to me. You deserved it. Oh, you are such a sweetheart. So what is your plan for the wedding preparations? How are you going to manage everything on your own? I've been thinking about that for the last few days. I don't have many people here to help, and Emmett's always busy with work, doing late night shifts and everything. I don't want to burden him. Well, I'm here to help if you would like it. I do not have much going on, you know me, just an old woman with her dog, and it is my son's wedding after all. I will not impose, but I just want to help you in any way you need. You would do that for me? I hope it will not be much of a bother to you. Absolutely, I would. I've been waiting for this day. My son is getting married to an amazing girl like you. I would love to be a part of the process. Great then. Why not come over? We can have tea, go through the details, and plan together. Sounds perfect. I'll even bring some of that shortbread you like. That is wonderful. Over the next few months, Agnes was my partner through all the wedding preparations. Emmett's involvement varied. Sometimes he was there, sometimes he was not, but Agnes was consistently by my side. She went above and beyond, accompanying me to do all the wedding shopping I needed. Agnes and my mom was there with me when I was picking out my wedding dress. After trying on 100 dresses, I finally chose one, and Agnes surprised me by stepping up to the counter. She insisted on paying for the dress, a gesture that took me by surprise. I protested, telling her it was too generous of a gift, but she would not hear any of it. Her support lifted a huge weight off my shoulders, and we became close during that time. As the wedding day approached, Agnes wanted a special moment together before I walked down the aisle. Wow, you look stunning, the most beautiful bride I have ever seen. You might make me tear up, and I will need to fix my makeup. You've got me there, Agnes. I want you to know that since you entered my life, everything changed. You're like a second mom to me. I didn't know mothers-in-law could be so friendly. I feel a genuine connection with you and I appreciate your constant support. I love you too. This relationship is something special, and I never expected such a strong bond with my daughter-in-law as well. Agnes handed me a little box, and I opened it. That means a lot. What is the little present? I can't take this. You already blessed me with this gorgeous wedding dress. It is a necklace, a family heirloom passed down to me. Now that you are officially my daughter-in-law, I want you to have it. Oh, it is exquisite. It complements my dress perfectly. Can you help me put it on? Absolutely. Now go walk down that aisle and claim your man. So it had been like a year since Emmett and I got married. And let me tell you, it has been one heck of a ride. Emmett was there for me. Sure, he had his quirks and he had his own episodes, but I thought, who does not? And then there was Agnes. She was the dream mother-in-law. Emmett and Agnes tried to make everything special for me. Like on my birthday, they decided to throw me this epic surprise birthday bash. I had no clue what was going on. The next thing I knew, my parents were at the door and Agnes baked this heavenly cake. We partied like there was no tomorrow, and I could not believe how lucky I was to have these two in my life. Agnes, the plant whisperer, also gifted me these rare and exotic plants, and that got me into gardening, you see. She used to come over with her home-cooked meals, and we used to spend a lot of time together in the garden. All these moments made me realize how darn lucky I was. Life was cruising along smoothly, you know, until that one night 2 months back when everything took a nosedive. The phone rang, and it was the hospital. Emmett got the call. Agnes had been admitted. It was a late-night ordeal, and off we went, rushing to the hospital. The doctor dropped the bomb. Agnes had this infection wreaking havoc on 90% of her kidneys, along with some other major complications. The gut-wrenching part? There was nothing they could do. 2 weeks, they said. 2 weeks for Agnes. I can't tell you how devastating that news was. Even though Agnes could not say much, I would sit by her bedside night after night. It was hard on Emmett too, I thought, but he was never really there. He dealt with it differently. He distanced himself and did not come to the hospital much. When I asked why, he said he could not bear to see his mom like that. I understood, but it meant I became Agnes's main support. A couple of days before Agnes passed, she had a sentimental heart-to-heart with me. Hey, Alicia, there's something I need to share with you, sweetheart. What's going on, Agnes? Is everything okay? Do you need a nurse? Oh, honey, calm down. Everything's fine for now, but it won't be soon. It's my fate and I need to accept it. Please don't do this right now. I'm not ready to say goodbye yet. I have a more important thing to tell you. I've been meeting with my lawyer for the past couple of days, and there are some changes I need to make to my inheritance. Changes? What do you mean? Well, I'm going away, my dear. You have changed my life for the better since the day we met. I always dreamt of having a daughter, and you made that dream come true. So I'm leaving you some money in your name, amongst other things. It's more than enough to live a comfortable and adventurous life. What? Are you sure about this? I think you should have thought about Emmett too. He deserves it more than me, I think. I have never been surer. You are the love of my son's life. I trust that you will share it with him. Use it however you want. Live a long, happy life, and please take care of him. He might act a little cocky sometimes, but he doesn't have a bad heart, and he would never do anything to hurt you. That's not the person I've raised. I promise you all those things, but you didn't have to do that for me. I appreciate it, though. It is done now, and there is another wish. I just want you to go and spread my ashes in my backyard. Emmett knows about it. My lawyer is my executor, and he will have all the details. It is all in the will. Remember me well. I don't have the energy to talk beyond this point. I just wanted to say I love you. I love you too. This means so much to me. I did not tell Emmett about it. The conditions were tough, and I did not want to just talk about inheritance to him right now. It is a good thing I did not, because I didn't know the storm that was about to unleash in my life. The inevitable call came on one of those nights when I was home. It was the hospital delivering the news. Agnes had passed away. I rushed there, tears streaming down my face, and when I got there, Emmett was nowhere to be found. It was his turn at the hospital, and he had abandoned Agnes. It pained me when I realized that there was no one by her side when her soul left her body. I called Emmett and gave him the news. He said something important came up and he would be there in some time, and by some time he meant 2 hours. When he finally got there, I hugged him. He did not cry. He looked like he was in this weird state of shock. We lingered at the hospital for a while. Emmett spoke with the doctor, discussing the next steps. Then, in silence, we reached home. Emmett, I know you're probably not in the mood to talk about this, but seriously, you look terrible. I'm here for you, you know. You can talk about your feelings. You don't have to be there for me. Come on, don't push me away. I get it. It hurts, like a lot. But honestly, it had to happen. Maybe not too soon, but you're not catching my drift. My mom's gone, and it's high time for you to leave as well. Check your room. I got your bags packed. That is why I could not make it to the hospital earlier. You need to be out, like right now. Hold up. Is this some messed up joke? What the heck are you even talking about? You were here packing my belongings? Yeah, it hurts me a bit, but guess what is the good part about all this? The inheritance. Did you even know how much my mom had stashed away? It's all coming my way. Ever wonder why I tie the knot with you? Just to tick off my mom's bucket list and get her a daughter-in-law. I've been waiting to get it off my chest for a long time. Phew, it feels good to finally say it out loud. What we had was not real from my end. Maybe you should have played it safe. I'm sorry, Alicia. Are you pulling my leg? Your mom literally just passed away just hours ago. Is this how you honor her memory? And our marriage was just a sham? I have given my all to you. I loved you and did everything in my power for you. And now I find out it was all about the money? If Agnes had not passed away today, but let us say 5 years down the line, would you have kept this act going for that long? It's revolting to even consider. I should have been more cautious. The signs were right in front of me, but I chose to ignore them. No joke, babe. I was never ready for the whole settling down thing. All those stories my mom used to spin about me, yeah, they were true. But for her, I had to play the good son. I needed her on my side to get that inheritance, so I needed a partner pronto. I'm ecstatic that money's about to revamp my life. The things I can do with all that money, it's a never-ending list. You? Well, I'm thinking I don't need you anymore. Seriously? Agnes must be proud of you, right? But guess what? I've got some juicy gossip too. A couple of days ago, Agnes told me something. She left me all her fortune, not you. Hold up, what? Are you kidding me? She would never do that. I'm her son, the golden child. She's always been all about taking care of me. That old hag wouldn't dare to leave me without any money. Well, in a few days we will see who's got it all when her lawyer calls us up. You're sounding so serious. Is this for real? Did she leave you everything? Yes. She had her lawyer over at the hospital, but you would not know, right? Because I was by her side day and night while you were out there doing God knows what. Maybe celebrating her death? Turns out your plan did not work out. Well, sweetheart, I was just playing around. If the money rolls in, we'll be splitting it, you know? You're my wife. I'd just done the same if I inherited all the money. This was all just a big stupid joke. Now, you are trying to make me buy that load of crap? Do you think I'm a kid? Seriously, Emmett, grow up. Don't play these dumb games with me. I need some space to grieve and remember Agnes. I'm out of here. So, if you think that was the end of it, let me tell you it was not. I grabbed my bags and walked out immediately, booked a hotel room for myself to figure things out. I was not sure how to feel because I was dealing with a lot of emotions. Emmett would call me, sometimes angry, other times apologetic, trying to retract his words. But the events of that night, it's like something in me just died. It was not on my bingo card. How could her son be so selfish to celebrate his mother's death for money? People can be so greedy sometimes, and Emmett proved it right. It was not just about Agnes and the money. I had invested everything into this marriage. But the realization that it meant nothing more than a deal for him to gain money hurt me deeply. It was a lot to take in. My life changed overnight, and then I got a call from Emmett. I thought it would be one of his little outbursts, but it was kind of different this time. Hey, listen, if this is another one of your cycles, getting angry, threatening, then apologizing, let me tell you it's not working. Now that my mom has already proved her point by giving you her entire inheritance, why don't you arrange for her funeral? She wanted to be cremated. Yeah, she told me about it. So how about you handle the cremation and everything? I don't want to get involved. Feel free to spread the ashes yourself in her beloved little garden. I don't want to be a part of this. So, wow. Now you don't even want to be a part of your mom's funeral? That's a whole new level of stooping low, Emmett. I was pretty sure she must have left me the house or something, but that woman didn't even let me have that. She left you everything. I'm doomed. So after all that drama, I had to prepare for the whole funeral. Not many people showed up, just a handful. And Emmett, well, he was a no-show as expected. The whole thing felt surreal. After the funeral, I received Agnes's ashes. It was a heavy moment carrying the remains of someone who had become so significant in my life. I decided to go to the house, and specifically to the garden where Agnes found peace. I stood there holding the urn, surrounded by the memories Agnes had created in that garden. I whispered a small prayer, my final words to her, and then, with a heavy heart, I scattered her ashes over the soil. It was a bittersweet moment, a farewell to the woman who had become a mother to me. Before doing this, I even tried calling Emmett, wondering if he had changed his mind, questioning if there was still a flicker of care for Agnes in him. But, as expected, Emmett remained in his selfish state. Agnes left me not just her money, which was close to $1 million, but also her house. I moved into it to keep her spirit around. It's like a cozy shrine of memories. Anyway, I finally took the plunge and filed for a divorce from Emmett. It is still under process, but the best decision ever. Now, Emmett's drowning in regret. He disrespected our marriage and worse, dissed his own mom. Karma's a real thing. Watching him squirm is oddly satisfying. All those ambitious plans he had? Shattered. He can now marinate in his grief and regret.